Pockets of shrieking bone, tainted tokens of the past come to trouble me. Out of time, I go running, as you're running out of time. Storming for the return from the nothing. I am back to reclaim what's mine. Darkest voids, ever waiting for the chime of the hand at two. Clocks of a heart destroyed, circulating in the blind as they stand with you. Out of time, I go running, as you're running out of time, storming for the return from the nothing. I am back to reclaim what's mine. Keep the clocks running, keep every hammer drumming. Time will open the doors. Keep the clocks running, keep every hammer drumming. I'm coming back to the fore. Set the wheels, I'm coming back to the fore. Clockworks flicking, they link within. Locks and riddles of rings will spin. Cogwheels linking the springs and pins. Walls are closing in. And I have been to some bad, bad places, taken gifts of the darkest shrines. I have seen despair in the saddest faces. Now I'm back to reclaim what's mine. Keep the clocks running, keep every hammer drumming. Time will open the door.
Hello, and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm John, or Senstaku, as you might know me on Twitter, the executive producer here, and I just want to thank you for watching. It really means a lot to us that people watch, listen to, and enjoy our shows. If you want to help us keep making these shows as fun and lively as they can be, please join your fellow fans in supporting us at our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms or by subscribing to our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/finalshowfilms. It really means a lot to us that the amount of you who do support us continue to do so, especially our $25 plus tier supporters on Patreon. Antitonic, Cat Waterflame, Samantha Bates, Maureen Monty, and Bradley Alexander. Every little bit helps, so thank you to all of our patrons and subs. Check us out on Twitter at Final Show Films and on our website at www.finalshowfilms.com for updates, go-live notifications, and more. We love interacting with you, so feel free to tweet at us or email us at finalshowfilms@gmail.com. That being said, please relax and enjoy. We're live. Kind of. What the hell is going... Oh, right. Well, while we're doing introductions, I'm going to be fixing the booth because... Oh, wait, no, I don't. I have to do that. Right.
It's the madness of Cthulhu.
It is the madness of Cthulhu.
Through.
I keep forgetting that I have two different overlays for this show, and one of them is no longer correct, and I need to remove it. But, you know, that's just how things be. Anyways, they're going to be getting a nice, interesting view of me fixing all the cameras that I forgot to do earlier while we do our introductions. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Esoteric Literature Club of Whitechapel. I am John, the Keeper, and joining me today as I fix cameras is Aaron.
Hi, I'm Aaron. I'm playing America, Kansas Freedom. I'm a professional cowboy. How do you do?
And Craig.
Hi, I'm Craig. I'm back from beyond, and I am playing Dr. Harold Costley, pensioner and abductee.
And Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara, and I am playing. This is Doris Foster Young, retired cult leader and murderer.
Murderer by proxy.
Yeah.
And Jeremy.
Hi, my name is Jeremy. I am playing Jahan Ramsey, Wiccan psychologist, magic user.
And before we begin, and while I continue to mess around with my cameras, recall that before we delve into the world of Call of Cthulhu, for all those watching and listening at home, understand that this is a world that thrives on horror, on the unsettling, on making you uncomfortable. So there may be themes, there may be themes and aspects of the story that are particularly unpleasant for viewers. In those cases, it is a perfectly valid response to stop watching or listening if you feel you cannot. Those who remain, welcome to Call of Cthulhu. Now, banter for a moment while I finish messing with these things.
So America has sort of pulled brim of the hat down over their face, because holy shit, what did I just see?
Actually,
Harold's also existent again, and there was just discussion about him, so...
really quick, Harold, I'm going to need you to make 4 sanity checks for me.
Yeah, you are.
Because
Oh God.
something weird happened with this one that we're going to be delving into momentarily.
No,
Roll out.
totally cool. It's just new lift through the walls. New Uber. Nuber. Cthulhu.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna keep going until somebody responds. God damn it.
I mean, it doesn't. You don't have to. It's a shambler, so it's just shambler.
There you go. Okay, so
you take
fail.
out-
One fail.
But you take out
One
the E.
success. One fail. One fail. So 3 fails, 1 success.
All right.
Wow.
For every failure, you lose 1d10 sanity points.
Holy crap! I could go from good
Are
to
you
bad
kidding?
real
What
quick
are you
here.
at currently?
I
question?
mean, real good. 64.
Okay.
So it's not
Okay.
possible for you to go to 0 from this.
Oh, only
Oh,
9.
that's not bad.
Hooray!
That's real good.
And
Yeah.
I'm still above 50%, folks.
and for your successful save, you lose 2 sanity points.
Oh, dip. Okay, still above 50.
I
Still
like
11.
that. I like that you lost less, or you lost more on your successful one than you
Than
did
the
on one
one-
of your fails.
Yeah.
And if we go that the things are corresponding in order, the 99 rolled on the sanity check resulted in a loss of 1 sanity.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right.
By that point, he was just already
So,
blocking everything, apparently.
Harold.
It's like that scene in, boy, I'm gonna betray how old I am, but Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, where they're like, "What? You want to scream some more? I guess."
Great
Harold,
movie.
You were, when last you were aware of reality, although aware isn't quite the right term, because you've been aware of reality for quite a bit of time. When last you were on this particular dimension, you had walked down with the rest of your group to find the body of John Collins in the middle of some sort of ritualistic circle. And as people were having their various reactions to this scene, the world around you went dark. Not dark like the lights had gone out or your eyes had closed, more like you blinked and suddenly you were in a void. A void which to your eyes began color-coding itself before your very vision. It changed from black to purple, and then from purple to red, and then went on a streaming tangent of pinks of various hues before returning back to a vaguely black and purple state. You feel yourself floating, weightless. you are still aware of yourself and of your form. You look down and you can see your body, and you see that you are floating. And as you are attempting to process this, your first sanity failure, you see a radio float by in the nothingness. This radio is a fairly old-fashioned radio, one of those sort of like rectangular ones with an antenna on it and a handle, and most of it's taken up by a speaker with a very small dial on one side. As it floats by in front of you, the internal lights of the dial flicker on. There's a bit of sound of static, and then clear as any radio you'd be listening to in reality, you hear echoing from this radio. Hello, everybody. This is English Nick talking to you live from 97-1000 The River, where we play only the best of classic rock music here in the interdimensional space between worlds. Coming up next, Bob O'Reilly by The Who. Please be sure to scream. And remember, resistance is futile. And Bob O'Reilly begins to play out of the radio. Particularly starting, obviously, with that really high, fast-paced piano music at the beginning of it. For anyone who doesn't know Bob O'Reilly, feel free to look it up and listen along. It's a really good song.
No, I'm on a call, and you guys would all hear it, and then we'd get a copyright strike.
Ding, ding, ding.
Harold is looking around and thinking, all right, not as bad as it could be so far. Could be modern music.
And as the song gets past the piano and guitar chords in the beginning, and you hear the dulcet tones of, I can't remember the name of the lead singer of The Who, coming out, echoing into the first set of the lyrics, out here in the fields, I fight for my meals. A hand grabs your shoulder. Well, I say hand. Really, it's more of a black, ooey, carapace-like claw. Looking at it, it looks almost like somebody had taken oil and solidified it into flesh, except that it maintains the flowing, liquid-like qualities of oil while having that resilient strength of flesh. Almost stone, really. As it grips your shoulder.
For the record, lead singer of The Who is Roger Daltrey.
Harold will start to beat against it with his cane. Do I still have my cane?
You still have your cane. You can't move your arm, though.
Oh, is it like a sleep paralysis kind of deal?
Potentially, it's hard to tell. You can feel that it's there, and you can feel that it's working, and you are aware of the limb. It's just not responding to your commands.
Okay.
And as another claw latches onto the other shoulder. Can
I speak, or is my larynx also?
You seem to be able to talk, and the radio did encourage you to scream.
Okay. Harold's going to continue to try to struggle.
As a face leans down over you. This face is featureless, except for the gaping maw of teeth. A gaping maw that has far too many teeth for any maw to have. You've seen sharks. Way more teeth than that.
Is this the sanity check that I succeeded or failed?
This is another one that you failed.
Okay, but fair.
Have we seen more teeth, or have we seen less teeth in a Rob Liefeld drawing?
Even more teeth than a Rob Liefeld drawing.
My God!
How many pouches, though?
No pouches apparent yet.
Okay, so in response, though, I think given that this is one that Harold failed, I think he will probably start to yell and scream as he continues to try ineffectually to struggle.
You yell, you begin screaming, and as you do, the head that is looking at you upside down, featureless save for the toothy maw, tilts to the side. And you could swear, even though it doesn't say anything, that the thought running through its head is, weird. They're normally asleep.
Do I look asleep to you?
As Baba O'Reilly continues to play in the background.
Get your claws off me and let me go. Put me back down.
There is a sudden intake of breath, maybe, something, air is at very least going into the toothy maw. And as it does, you feel something within you pulling. It's like somebody reached inside you, grabbed your rib cage, and started tugging. As you feel something ejecting itself from you, something you can't see but you can definitely feel, as it breathes it in.
All right. I will, I guess, try to stop breathing.
Hold your breath.
Yeah.
The feeling doesn't stop.
Okay.
And then
Get off me!
It stops intaking whatever it is that it's intaking. Leans back. More time has passed than you thought as Bob O'Reilly is getting into the last stanza of the song. Teenage Wasteland is currently on repeat over and over again.
Oh, God.
And it's sort of...
How do I feel, John? Do I feel lessened by this exchange, or...
You're not certain. You can't quite... You have a feeling that you can't quite quantify, and the fact that you can't quantify it, that's your successful save.
Oh, good. That's encouraging.
That was your successful save.
Yeah.
Just something is weird as this entity spins you upside down.
So it hasn't let me go. It's just finished taking whatever it was taking.
Correct.
Okay.
And it's sort of these pointed claws dancing up and down your sides. It spins you upside down, is holding you vaguely by the ankles. You still haven't been able to see the rest of it. All you have really seen are these arms, claws, and face. Nothing else seems to be in your periphery.
Is there anyone else around that I can see?
Be a spot hidden roll.
Sure. Success.
You look around as best you can, and there seems to be flashes of people. You're not seeing anyone in particular that you recognize, but every once in a while there will be a person there, and you'll blink, and then they will no longer be there. Various different kinds of people, ranging in ages, from the very old to the very young, everything in between. Ranging in dress styles from things that are very similar to what you're wearing to things that are completely outlandish and garish, and entities not all of which are human as they pop in and out of existence around you. And as you're trying and failing to comprehend the sights and sounds, you suddenly find yourself sitting on the ground next to Doris in an enclosed chamber of some kind, feeling, while not actually covered in slime, feeling as if you had recently been covered in slime. A sort of sticky, tacky, odd sensation on your skin and beard and clothes. And as the lingering sounds, the last final riffs of Bob O'Reilly fade into the...
John, tell me if this is inappropriate, but I feel like, especially since I failed that last sanity check, he probably comes out and is probably actively trying to wipe himself
absolutely.
off.
So, Doris, you suddenly realize Harold is next to you and flailing wildly.
Harold!
Get off me! Oh, God, it's all over.
Nothing... What? I like touch your shoulder. There's nothing on you. You're back.
Oh,
Hello.
Dr. Ramsey.
You're all right.
Do I feel all right, John?
Ooh.
I try to mentally take stock of myself.
Oh, you are quite shaken.
Oh, nothing. Spot of tea won't cure, I suspect.
Well,
which is the British equivalent of God, no.
we might be a little bit might need a little time before we get to any tea.
Right. Pardon me for asking. Where are we?
Crypt.
Did anyone else see that? Or are we just gonna laze on past?
Is this a
Sorry,
funeral
what?
for Mr. Collins then?
No,
No.
he's
No.
he's out getting something to open the door, but we managed to get it open while he was gone. So we came in here.
He came back then again.
Of course.
Did his little
Yes.
trick. Good.
Of course.
Mixed Freedom, if I might ask you, I'm rather curious. You said pretend we didn't see it. What did that look like, shall we say, from your perspective?
Do I really have to describe?
Well, it was rather dark on my end, and then I was here. The last thing I
John,
remember.
do I have any words or conceptions?
Be a
I'm fine.
Appraise. It's not the right roll for it.
no. Give me a.
I feel like there's a.
Oh, by the way, both you, Harold, you and America both get an additional 5 to your Cthulhu Mythos rating.
Nice.
Oh, God.
I am. Just to be clear, just to be
Is
sure.
Cthulhu Mythos the correct roll?
It would be, yes.
Okay. We'll see if I can even put into words what I saw. Probably not. No.
Should I roll it as well, or that's just from
No,
getting sucked through the hole?
This is America trying to
You
find
asked
the words.
me a question
Yeah.
about
So-
what a Lovecraftian creature looks like.
Well, I got points for asking, so that's why I was curious.
No, you got points for going through the hole.
Okay.
I forgot to assign them previously. So, Harold, you ask what it looks like, and America begins to speak, but no sound comes out. America, it's very much that. And then it ends in a. And that's pretty much all you get.
Just to be safe, because why not spend sanity points on something I out of character know is already the case? I'm going to do the sign of power to make sure that the herald that appeared in front of us is not a Cthulhuid monster.
Fair.
You spend a point of mana and a point of sanity.
Yep.
Focus your power through the hand, hold it up. Harold, John is holding his hand out towards you in a sign that you've seen before.
No need to flash gang signs there, Dr. Ramsey.
He's fine, John. He's not reacting in the way that a creature would.
Fuck, that would be pretty cool, though.
I don't know what you two talked about in the last week.
It's true.
No, I mean,
Really
you
good.
definitely don't. It apparently wasn't this, but
Right then.
Well, Doris, did you have anything you need to do now that Harold's back, or should we start investigating?
Anything that you can do with other people in the room, to be clear.
I mean,
Thank
there's a
you.
coffin right over there if you want.
Why is everyone jackasses about everyone else getting down with it?
Don't-
Because we have to do something to put a sense of levity in the the situation that we are in.
And as as Doris begins to there's a loud thum, thum, thum on the door.
Oh, that's Collins.
Are we sure?
I hope that.
Pulls out
Hello?
shotgun.
Yeah, I will go to the door. Hello?
Make me a listen check.
Don't forget, your ghosts aren't done. They're
Nope.
just
You don't hear anything.
But before they were
God
just
damn
things
it.
I would see, not physical like banging on
Are you telling
windows
me
or
you
doors.
don't think that things have escalated recently?
If they can spontaneously generate bathtubs, I'm not taking a chance they can't spontaneously
Right.
generate knocking sound.
Why don't we just open the door to see if he's there?
America, ready?
Or a
Ready.
cell phone. Do it.
If I shoot him anyway, it's fine.
I'm sure he would rather you not, but
That was out of character.
yeah.
Collins, is that you?
Make a listen check.
I'll try. Can I try
make
and
that
listen
as
too?
well.
Yeah,
Given
all of you
word.
can.
Okay. Might
I
as
really
well.
hope we all fail.
Yep.
Yep. Well, good. 2 for 2 so far.
This
This is
That
good.
was
This is
a,
going
that
well.
was a
Oh
whole
my
mess
God.
of failures.
This crypt is really well insulated. It's hard to hear anything from the outside.
All right. Okay.
All right,
Okay.
three,
Harold takes
two-
Harold takes his cane. No, wait. Harold takes his cane and and the silver duck tipped cane and goes da 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 da.
No response.
All right, it's a monster.
2, 1, clunk, clunk.
As you open the door, you are greeted by the sight of John Collins standing over about 6 corpses, breathing heavily.
Uh,
How many
my
fucking times do I have to knock before you guys open this goddamn door?
For the record, the traditional response is, and he reaches out to the door and goes da da.
Fuck are you talking about?
He was.
Well, I know you've been
we weren't
alive
sure
for
if you were a monster.
1,000 years or whatnot, but
Gave
you've
him a
been in a
haircut.
box all that time.
Give an idea roll, everyone that's looking at the scene at the moment. Which is just
Yeah,
intelligence.
Hey, success!
Same.
Wow, we're really
wait,
bad
we
at
need to
hearing
make
doors.
idea rolls. Okay.
Yeah, just
I
an
can do that.
intelligence
I'm
roll.
Full
smart.
of ideas.
All right.
That's great.
All 4 of you smell like discharged gunpowder.
Mm.
And looking around, looking at John Collins and at the corpses on the ground, you realize that they have been sliced and shot repeatedly. You're pretty certain the sound you heard was his gun discharging against the door, not him knocking. As you are now looking at the thing, and you realize, damn, this crypt is really tightly sealed.
Locks magic.
I figured. And looking behind him, you see a large toolkit that is mostly empty with tools strewn about. And again, looking around, you see there are lots of tool scrapings on the door. It seems like he's been trying to get into the door for quite a while and wasn't able to.
Oops. Right. Well, you should. It's safe inside, we think. So
Sort
I
of
will pull.
gives one last kick to a corpse on the ground that doesn't move in response.
Well, I will
Walks
point
in.
out
Erica
that
will
at
take
least something
themselves
has got.
out because good gun discipline is important.
And I will also add, while it may seem safe inside, let's not forget that at least something has got a means inside.
Oh,
Yes.
I see you've returned to us, Dr. Costley. Yeah, Shamblers don't give a fuck for our worldly protections. They step through.
Yeah, this shambler, gooey, oily looking thing, lots of teeth.
Oh, never seen it. Well, not fully. I've seen bits
Well,
of
I
it.
wouldn't recommend it. What in the bloody living fuck was it? Pardon me, Doris.
Wait, you weren't asleep when you got taken?
Well, I'm not above admitting I will occasionally nod off at importune moments these days, but no, I wasn't.
No. When a shambler takes you, you're not supposed to be aware of it.
What does that mean?
Sorry, what?
Think about the times any of you have previously gone missing. Have any of you?
I don't
had
know.
Have any of you had any memory of going missing when you got back?
No.
It hasn't happened to me yet.
missing time.
Yeah, because when you're taken by a shambler, you're taken to the place between dimensions, and that's not a place for a human brain to exist.
Far too much the Who.
I saw it when it dropped him back. Or maybe something.
Point of order, there's no such thing as too much Who.
I would have agreed with you. And he checks his watch. How long has it been since he's gone missing?
For you, it was the length of Bob O'Reilly, but your watch says that it's been several hours.
I would have agreed with you 3 hours ago, but look,
I mean,
never
3
mind.
hours. That's the length of the double album. That's
So, what sort of thing? You know what? We can talk about this later. You all are in a crypt. I assume we're looking for that there finger bone. Yes.
Yes.
That
Yes.
is correct.
Indeed.
Let's get in here and close the door. Missy steps in and closes it behind the rest of you.
Yep.
Looks
Did
over
they
at
look like
Doris.
they were?
He looks over at Doris. Lady, I've got to say, your ghosts are quite motivated. Don't know what the fuck you did to them, but damn. As he moves past you towards the far end of the room.
Harold shoots an inquiring look at Doris.
It's something that's it was probably connected to the haunting at my house.
more than
something like
that seems to be the case. Yes.
Yes.
Doris,
Yes.
are you all right?
I will be. Yes.
Well,
I'll
that,
explain
isn't it?
later.
As long as you're all right. That's my only question.
Are you?
I think I am now, pending perhaps some follow-up questions regarding this shambler once we're out of here and have a stiff drink in hand. But for now, let's get what you all came here for.
What's your sanity at right now, Harold?
It is a 53.
Okay, good to know. What's everyone else's
I'm the
sanities at
only
right
one
now?
who's below the. I'm
My
at 30.
is 25.
65.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to check. No
That's where I
worries.
started. That's where I started tonight.
America.
Yep.
As John Collins moves over and sets about opening a coffin, your own voice begins talking to you in your head. Though you identify that this is the voice of your hat.
Got it.
It's your voice, but it's the voice of your hat.
That track.
And shit's fucked up, man. And you innately know that this is your hat talking to you.
Yeah. I know my hat's talking. That's fine. Do I think that other people can hear my hat talking?
You don't know.
Do they look like they're responding to that comment?
No.
Cool. Pull down the brim. Just keep moving.
I mean, I would, but I'm attached to you. The sound of stone creaking against stone fills the chamber as John Collins heaves open the middle coffin at the far end. Begins whistling a jaunty tune to himself as he pulls out what looks kind of like a really overly elaborate set of you know the what's it called? It's the kind of wrench where you lock it in place, and I can't think of what it's. It's a wrench. It's a really elaborate wrench.
Yeah.
Like a pipe wrench, but smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Reaches in, clamps it on something. You hear the sound as he pulls it back out, and there is about the length of the the first digit of a finger. Piece of bone that comes out back out with him.
That.
shuts it back. Right. Fingerboat acquired.
Splendid.
Now all we've got to do is return to the headquarters, perform a ritual, and then we'll be able to take this knife, well, that knife, back to the place where you started this whole journey, figure out what's anchoring the Shambler to this world, cut through it with the knife, that'll sever its connection to this world, and it won't be able to shamble around stealing people, at least until it reconnects with somewhere else.
Right.
But that's 5 years tops, so we're good.
On the subject of the Shambler, why does it take people? Is it looking for something or wanting to take something from them or anything of that sort?
It eats off you.
That sounds horrible. What sort of thing does it eat off people?
Your time.
I see. So that's the sensation of lost time then that we've been having.
More or less. It also, but it eats more than just the time you're missing. It eats primarily the time you have left.
Well.
Brings you closer and closer to the end of that mortal coil,
All things considered then, could have picked a worse one of us.
Why hasn't it tried to grab you then? Aren't you like a juice box?
You notice the tattoos on my back?
Yeah.
That's why.
Has Harold been around at any point where Doris would have been able to see John Collins' back?
He's been shirtless several times.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't remember
that.
that.
A bit of
I do.
flesh ripped out and then was shirtless.
Yep.
Fair.
Ancient magic performed by a wizard who's long dead.
Right.
Well, I think he's dead. He should be dead. He might not be dead.
You are not dead.
Oh,
okay.
But I'm a special case.
Yes. Clearly. On the subject of getting back to headquarters, are we going to have to walk again? The whole way?
Yep.
Right.
Didn't you say something about this thing being having some protectiveness to it, so once we got it, it would be fine?
Theoretically, yeah.
You mind if I take a look at that there, Bone?
Don't touch it with your hands, but sure. He holds out the clamp.
Harold pulls out his handkerchief, and as long as that's not objected to, we'll take it. I like to do a medicine roll to make sure that we got the right bone.
Sure.
To be fair, I feel like he pried it right off of the hand.
I know, but people get up to some
fair.
freaky shit.
Yeah.
All right, success.
This is indeed a finger bone.
Okay.
One of the many bones and fingers.
All right. Just wanted to make sure we got the.
Specifically, it looks like it's the tip of the middle finger.
Wanted to make sure we got the proper phalange. All right. Looks to be in order. Well, that's the only bit of sense I can make out of these proceedings. So, and he just hands it back.
He takes it. It's fine. It's good to lean into what keeps your mind occupied rather than thinking about the various atrocious horrors that are awaiting us.
Now they're back.
Lovely. Wonderful.
Right.
As he walks through the door, he stops and looks at the sigils along the walls that you guys had noticed previously. Well, everyone but Harold had noticed previously. Oh, that's how they did it. That'd probably work. Yeah.
What is that?
Oh, it's Enochian. It's language of the angels.
Yes.
Things. It's a warden seal.
Wait, like the angels?
Yeah, angels. Big feathery bastards. Really grumpy.
Let's get going.
He sort of looks at Harold for a second. You didn't think with, ghosts and zombies and various other things being real that angels wouldn't be real too, did you?
No, I've processed that already. That's fine.
Yeah,
Um,
point of order, I believed in angels before I believed in any of the rest of this sort of malarkey.
Well, I will tell you, they're nothing like what you write in your book. As he
Right.
opens the door. Pulls it open.
Obviously.
Right shortage of babies with ARPs then.
Less babies with ARPs, more really... those really, really self-righteous people in the world that feel like they're the voice of God directly?
Yeah, I've been to church once or twice.
Imagine that, but with wings and unlimited power. Right, feathery bastards they are.
You sound as though you've had some one-on-one goes with them there.
A few. As he opens the door and lets you all step out.
What are we stepping out into?
a graveyard.
A fog-covered graveyard.
Just wanted to make sure.
And over a pile of corpses.
Actually, that's not something you'd say out loud. Do these look like they were corpses before they were shot by Collins?
Give me a medicine check.
Also-
That's a valid question.
Is the bathtub still here?
No, the bathtub is not.
Okay.
Yeah, success.
Jahan,
we
it's
weren't
hard to
here
tell.
anyway.
There's a lot of bullet holes in these things.
Yeah.
Harold, yes, these were corpses before he shot them.
All right. Just wanted to make sure. Okay.
So, Harold, I am going to try. This is not going to be successful. We're in a tiny group, and I'm terrified and don't want to go off by myself. So, anyway, I've so part of the that type of thing is a haunting apparently that is targeting me right now. You may hear or see some things as we walk back. Yeah.
Doris,
Yes.
have I ever told you anything about my time in the service?
No.
Then you don't need to tell me anything about what this haunting might be about.
All right.
Just let me know if you need a shoulder to lean on, and I'll let you know if I get the deep down screamies on account of anything that grabs me out of the shadows, all right?
All right.
I lean over. I lean over to America's like. It's like I don't even know what to say. I just it's like the fly just wandering directly up to the web and throwing itself on.
So rude.
Ain't that how Black Widows work?
Well, usually there's a bit more hunting, but anyway, sorry. Go ahead. I just had to throw that in.
America, your hat says, I was thinking Venus flytrap.
Harold, do you happen to have anything medical?
Just trying to keep going in whatever direction we have started to head, maybe a bit faster now.
After a little while of walking, you hear your spurs going, ow, 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 ow.
I've got spurs that complain.
Okay, so important question, because I didn't think about this. Did I wear spurs today?
I'd assume you did. It's part of the cowboy regalia.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm also like an actual horse trainer who understands what they're for. Okay, fine. They were already there.
It's either your spurs.
That was the important question.
It's either your spurs or your boots. One of the two are going ow, ow, ow.
Okay.
Do you happen to have anything? I drowned. I don't know what medical stuff would help with that, but I'm feeling rather winded.
Right.
Let's get out of the graveyard and then.
Yes. Do I have any? I mean, I don't have any anti-drowning pills, but do I have any Valium or anything of the sort?
Unfortunately, your medical bag is not on you.
No,
Ah,
I know, but Harold contains, Harold is of an
Seems like we're
age and
stopping.
was a prior.
Harold contains multitude.
If
Yeah.
it seems like we're stopping, I'll toss my medical bag to Harold because I have a fairly well stocked set of stuff. I just don't have the medicine skill. I have the first aid.
Yeah, you can make a medicine check.
Okay.
I'm at 1 hit point. Please
But
help.
Erica's also
Yeah.
tapping a foot the entire time we are stopped to do this because we keep on not getting out of the graveyard.
As you
Uh-huh.
tap your foot,
Success.
every tap. Ow! 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 Ow!
Hey, stopping that and just tapping a finger on my arm, I guess.
With
And
every,
and
with every, sorry, with the medicine check, roll a d10.
10?
1d10.
yes.
9.
Regain 9 hit points.
I'm at full. Yay.
I give you some
You do not regain.
painkiller.
You do
Go
not
ahead.
regain the major wound.
Yep.
But
one's gone.
through application, you still have the major wound mark. You saw that.
Yep.
But through that will only recover with time. But through the handy application of some painkillers, Harold has basically given you a little bit of an extra. You still feel really bad, but you don't feel like
Yep.
you're about to topple over it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Of course. We'll give you more of a look over once we get back somewhere safe.
Yes.
I can see Mixed Freedom there would like to have us mosey along. Is that the term?
Sure. Do you mind giving that back, or do you feel like you need to keep that on you?
No, of course. I assume where is his? Where was it? I guess in the room, right?
Yeah, it's back in the room.
yeah. Okay. No, of course, and he'll hand it back over.
As you
Nice.
as it's being handed back over, the medical bag and the contents within begin voicing their complaints about the rough calluses on Harold's hands.
Okay. Stuffing it in my other bag. Let's get out of here.
To which
I
your-
think if
to
I
which your-
see one.
To which your other bag responds, "Feed me more."
Okay, that's definitely the worst one yet, in my opinion. The other
Sure,
ones were cute.
Sure. Feel like if I see one more thing that's not possible, I'm gonna just break wide open. So let's get going.
You continue walking. As you walk, you notice that the fog, that sort of circle of clearness that was around the crypt, has followed you. So the fog is maintaining its distance at about basically 5 feet beyond the finger bone itself. So it's a fairly tight circle of clear, but it is a circle of clear still. As you continue walking, eventually finding your way back to the sidewalk, and eventually finding your way back to the car. Right, well,
Right.
out of here. He's Collins mumbles as he reaches into the glove compartment, pulls out a box, a fairly velvet-lined black box that he opens up, gently puts the finger bone into, closes it, and then puts it back in the glove compartment. As it does, and as it puts back in, and as it becomes steady, that radius of fog expands a little bit further.
Oh, that's good.
Right, well then,
What exactly would happen if we were to touch that thing?
I don't know. That's why we're not.
Sounds like a plan.
Scientific method. I approve.
It'll be a tight squeeze, but we can all fit in. As he gets into the driver's seat and lets you guys figure out how you're getting into the passenger and back seat.
Doris is trying to get in the backseat with Harold.
Okay.
Jahan seemed to have a preference.
Nope.
Then I will take shotgun.
So we have John, Harold, and Doris in the back seat, and America in the passenger seat. As the car turns on, does a quick turnaround, and begins heading back towards the headquarters. You've got about 20, 30 minutes to drive as he reaches over and flips on the radio And Harold, you hear Bob O'Reilly begin to play.
Harold will, I think, sort of tense up, but try not to outwardly respond.
I'd like to try and notice that.
Try to make a extreme psychology roll.
Okay.
Extreme success.
Alrighty. Ooh, I should have done the purple one, shouldn't I?
No, that's fine. It says
Okay.
it'll say what the type of success it is when you roll it. That
Okay.
says it's a hard success, so you do not. So you can tell that Harold is uneasy, but Harold has been uneasy since he re-arrived.
Fair enough. Okay.
As you all collectively exhale, letting
Just pet your hand.
the tension of the graveyard slowly seep away. As you do that, we're going to go on a quick break. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Please enjoy these advertisements. And we're back. So, is there anything that anyone wants to talk about or do over the next 20 minutes of car ride?
No.
Nope.
Emphatically not for Harold.
All right, cool. So,
The exact wrong place to have that conversation.
Yes.
I wanted to give you the option. America, over the course of the car ride, you realize that basically everything you're wearing is talking to you. Nothing
Cool.
else is talking to you, like the car isn't talking to you or somebody else's clothes aren't talking to you. It's specifically only the stuff you are carrying.
Good. Good to know.
They all have
So far.
they all have their own unique voices and personalities, all of which are your voice. And
my personality?
no, not your personality, but definitely your voice. And they all seem to have various complaints.
Question that no one else is going to know. My voice or my other voice?
Your voice.
Okay, my normal voice.
Yes.
Got it.
And eventually, you all arrive back at Collins' apartment. You've exited the fog. The fog does not seem to be blanketing all of London. It just seems to be blanketing the graveyard areas.
Okay.
Cars parked, doors are opened, everyone files out and in and down. Harold, to your relief, after Bob O'Reilly ended, another song continued. It was a regular radio station. And you are all once again back in the head beneath John Collins' home. All right, so this is going to take about a few hours to set up, so you're all free to pursue whatever ends you need while I do that. I'll be preparing ritual, and I'll call you over when we're ready to start, because you're gonna. I'm gonna need your help.
I'll lean over to Doris. Do you want me to be sure Jahan gives you some space?
I was planning.
I'm not talking to you. You didn't hear that.
There was no indication that we weren't right next to each other. That said, I understand. Just don't need to raise the voice about it.
I'm all right, America. Thank you. And I will try and steer Harold over to someplace private.
I mean, we have a room downstairs.
Yeah.
Harold,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it would be easy. That sounded far more salacious than the actuality of the events actually were. But
Yeah.
I mean, Harold is. She said she almost drowned. Harold
Mhm.
would be very interested in making sure that she's okay. So
Yes. Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
not hard to get him alone.
Oh, pretty easily. Yeah. And then so there's been a few things. Yeah.
That I picked up on that.
Yes. Are you really all right? You've been distracted, and that's not like you.
No, well, Doris, all things considered, I was pulled through some sort of ungodly rift in the world, and
You don't have to talk about it if you don't want to.
I don't want you to think I'm not answering your question. It's just that I think I need a little bit more time myself before I can give you an accurate answer.
Right. Well, shit, this is a bad time.
What about you then? Are you all right? Did she say that out loud? Shit, this is a bad time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just under voice, but yeah.
Well, bad time for what?
So I need to explain a little bit about the haunting. Just so you aren't caught unawares. I think would be better. So I'm being haunted. That's another monster or set of monsters that is after me specifically. Apparently it takes the form or voices or of people who felt wronged by me.
Right. Is this similar to what sort of thing appeared at your house there?
Yes and no. I don't exactly know what any of the hell this is.
Perfectly fair.
They are sort of, yeah, people who I may have helped cause to die. So that's just wonderful.
Well, you caused him to die in the didn't quite give them the assistance they needed, had a difficult time in their lives, or
I love
tossed them off a bridge.
I love how
sort of.
many mental hoops Harold is jumping.
Yeah. Exactly.
Harold's had a day, y'all.
Yeah. So I think not it's complicated.
Hmm.
I think I need to explain a little bit, and Doris has at this point like moved slightly away from you probably, and is sitting with like her hands like sort of crossed in front of her.
Sure.
She is
And Harold will give her that space.
okay. I think you need to know a little bit more about who I was back in my younger days.
Right, when you used to work for the churches.
Yes, well, specifically a church, except for it wasn't a it wasn't Church of England.
Well,
It
you can see Carol taking a little bit of stock, and
Yep.
I mean,
It,
good old C of E isn't exactly for everyone. That's no problem. Well, Dr. Ramsey's like a right fine bloke, and he's not even any sort of church. He's pagan there, isn't he?
yes. Exactly. So I was in this church and I sort of helped lead it for a little bit. And
well, you were a pastor then. Well, that's very progressive.
yes. And as part of that, there were certain points where I was quite young.
Of course.
I started leading when I was 18, actually. With
Very
my
progressive. Well done you, and well done them.
with my husband by that point. At the time, Harry first.
Right. All right.
Yes. And as part of that, we had a couple points where some decisions needed to be made about.
Oh, not. You, as a medical professional, not everyone's ready to start a family, even if they're married. That's not the sort of thing you need to explain to me.
Yes. Well, and Yes. I'm so glad you understand.
While Doris is recovering from that response, John,
Mm-hmm.
what are you doing?
That is a really good question. Probably just sort of meandering a little bit,
As
trying
you,
to make themselves busy.
as you wander around the library of the Knights Templar, make me a listen check.
There's a success.
You hear something, sort of like a low pitched buzzing, like something vibrating, something very heavy vibrating, drawing your attention down a particular line of bookshelf you hadn't explored yet. As you do so, sort of, I'm assuming, do you follow the buzzing?
Yeah.
You follow it, and you find a book whose spine has a title in Arabic,
Okay.
which
Pull it. Yep. I definitely pull that out. Take a look.
I love. Yes. Okay. The book is called. So the translation, it doesn't have an exact translation into. Uh, the closest translation you can think of is a Latin phrase, called "Liber Ivanis."
Life of
Ivan.
something.
It would be the book of Ibon.
Okay.
Would be the translation.
Oh, well, okay.
Liber,
fair.
Yeah, life is
Yeah.
vitae. Life is vitae.
To be fair, I was just being a dick. I didn't realize that was actually the thing.
Yeah, Ivanis is a name. It's sort of the book
Okay.
of this person.
Okay.
And it's calling to you. Like that vibrating sound is not a
Well,
physical
that's
sound.
fucking concerning.
Yeah, as you hold it, you sort of feel this pulse of energy sort of rippling out from it.
Okay.
Super good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go find cons because fuck that. I'm not randomly opening some bullshit book that's try. Who knows what shit's been put in here to fuck with us.
Make a make a power roll for me,
Okay.
just to see if you have the willpower.
Of
to...
course.
Oh.
Of course.
Your thought
With a 9 out of 90% chance of success.
You could spend luck.
No.
Like to spend 8 points of luck.
No.
Okay. So
That's too much.
you have the thought. I'm gonna go find Collins and ask him about this. I'm gonna figure out what it is before I open it. And as you are thinking that and preparing to move, you have already opened the book.
Oh, bollocks.
Make me an occult roll and then a sanity roll. Okay.
Success on both.
So, as you look down and begin to read, you see that you begin to put together that this is a spell book. This is a spell book of a particularly powerful wizard from the Mesopotamian era, like the burgeoning, just beginning of civilization. And as you do that, you sort of you are feeling this pull to continue reading, and you slam the book shut thanks
Okay.
to the successful sanity roll.
Okay.
This is a particularly powerful, actively magical book that you found. And you have sort of an innate sense that you would be able to learn quite a lot from studying this book. But you couldn't resist opening it and flipping through it, but you've managed to resist that call and close it back up again.
Right. So, yeah, that's getting softball pitched across the room. We will deal with that when Collins comes back.
The book goes flying, hits the ground. You still feel that vibrating tug, but
Fine.
you're aware of it and you can ignore it.
Okay.
America, what are you doing? If anything.
I've seen Jahan. I do not want him knowing anything of my secrets because he would be a judgmental dick about it. So no. Just gonna sit here and try and chill the fuck out and get my sanity back by ignoring the problem.
So you're gonna take a while to center and rest. Roll a d3. You get back 1 point of sanity. As you
cool.
rest
I'm
in
at
this
26.
As you rest in this magically active area. Your clothing is still talking to you.
Yeah.
The conversation is becoming more pleasant as they have aired their long-held grievances that you have previously not been able to hear and are now communicating amongst each other, setting up
more important to be practical or
setting up dinner dates, making reservations.
Oh my god.
Your socks and your boots get along real well.
Are the two halves of the shoes
at this
separate?
point?
Doesn't matter. You can still hear them.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Your socks have a bit of a foot fetish, you've discovered.
Great. Great.
Your socks are talking to your boots like, I'm in you.
My question would be: the sock, are each individual sock? Are they separate, like personality?
Yeah. No, they're individual socks. Yes.
Okay.
And individual boots.
I didn't know they might be a pair, and
Your pants feel like you should use more starch in your laundry. Everything's talking at this point.
Yes. Yeah. No, I do get the picture.
And a few hours pass. You all to your individual areas. Eventually, there's a loud boom from over at the ritual area.
Pick up my gun, start heading over.
Yep.
How far had I gotten in the conversation with Harold?
However far you wanted to get. You had a few hours, so.
Okay. I probably would have tried to, continue explaining things.
Okay.
So you've sort of drawn your own conclusion as it's working.
Very much so.
So yeah, the question is Doris going to leave Harold to his currently drawn conclusions?
It's real tempting.
Make a power roll.
Okay. Power? There
Power.
it is. Hey, it's a hard success.
So you have the choice. You can either, you have the choice of either letting him live on with the idea that he has made up, which seems to satisfy him as an explanation,
Mm-hmm.
or you can choose to further enlighten.
I'm gonna leave it there. Harold seemed kind of shaken by everything, and that seemed. Doris is a coward.
All right.
She'll leave it at that. So
Mm.
yeah.
That seems like a solid character choice.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's gonna come back to bite me.
So
I'm gonna do that.
you all gather back at the ritual circle after having heard this loud boom.
Yes, what was that?
You get there, and Collins is sort of standing there waving a fan to sort of get rid of some smoke. Right. Well, I guess you all heard that.
Did you set a bomb off?
Yes.
No, it's just a results of a minor incantation gone slightly awry. But other than that, the ritual is set and prepared. I'm going to require all of your assistance filling the final sort of aspects of it, and we can finalize this ritual dagger and get ready to go stab the fuck out of an anchor. Not a literal
Right.
anchor, of course, but a metaphysical anchor.
Who was
Right.
it that prepared you for the ritual last time? Then
This is the first time I've ever done this ritual.
well, what about the one where we came in and you was all cut up on the floor? Then
Oh, that's a different one. That was preparing the dagger. I did that myself.
right. Harold looks over significantly at Dr. Jahan, Dr. Ramsey, rather.
Rug.
Seems like that's the sort of thing that maybe the two of you will have a conversation about.
He just stares at you blankly.
I mean,
Why?
Get this over with.
All right. So, which one of you want to stab you?
No one's stabbing anything. You're gonna stand on these points. He sort of indicates, and you sort of look down. You see there's a large chalk circle that has been drawn on the floor, and within it there are many other arcane symbols, and there are 4 points, on sort of 5 points, like sort of the points of a star, on the outer edges of the circle that have been drawn into it. Right, Costly, you stand over there. Ramsey, you over there. America over there, and Miss Foster Young over
Yeah.
there.
What
I'll stand here.
it seems rather.
Puts the dagger in the middle. He puts the dagger in the middle, in a pile of. You see that the bowl of rice has been set in the middle of the circle. Buried in it is the dagger, and sort of sitting on top of it is the finger bone. And the whole thing has, you notice that the rice has been soaked in blood, and the thigh bone has been attached to the dagger.
John, what's the Sea of E's stance on blood magic in general?
I mean, I feel like that's pretty obvious.
Feels
Make
like
a-
against. I'm just gonna.
Make an
wild
occult
guess.
roll.
Okay, that's a choice. I mean, it's a fail.
They're pretty
'cause
down on it. Yeah, they're pretty down on it.
Harold looks very uncomfortable and is not taking his designated spot in the circle.
Harold.
I mean, it's not exactly well, it's not
What exactly did you think was going to happen when we started collecting virgin cow's blood and
Well,
what were the other ingredients, John?
Virgin
I mean,
cow's
it was-
blood, the thigh bone of an adult cow, the
Virgin
rice
cow's
blessed by
blood,
a
cow
Shinto
thigh
priest.
bones, and priest fingers. Did you think that we were going to just throw them out and play rainbows?
no, up to this point, it all sounded rather Catholic to me, but this seems going a bit far.
I mean, John has a moment where it looks like he's about to snark something and holds back.
It just got eaten by a tentacle of alternate realities that shambles us along between dimensions earlier today.
Right, and that's the sort of thing that's got me thinking maybe I need to spend a bit less time in ritual circles and a bit more time with my arse in the pew. Again, begging your pardon, Doris.
Well, if you'd like to have the ability to spend that time and rather than being eaten by a dimensional shambler, I'd suggest you stand on your fucking spot.
Go check with your pastor and see if he has any way to protect you from dimensional monsters.
All right, but and Harold sort of raises his voice to anyone other than the group that may be listening and says, "Well, I want you to know I'm only doing it under protest." And he takes his spot in the circle.
Oh, well, that will be wonderful for will-based magic.
All right. So, as you all take your positions, as Collins takes, you feel a pulse. This is different from the one that you felt from that book, Jahan. This is a more high-pitched thrum that sort of radiates up from your feet and through your entire body.
Okay.
And you all feel. You're not quite certain how to describe it other than like there is a valve in your feet that you have control over. So, each of you mechanically will be devoting some amount of your MP, which all of you have, even though not all of you have access to via spells normally, to this ritual. How much MP would you like to devote? Note, you can go over your MP and start spending hit points if you so desire.
No. I'm gonna do like a third of mine. I'll do 3
Okay, 3.
to start out
Is
with.
the MP total that's calculated automatically accurate?
Yes.
Cool.
Excuse me.
It's not like I'm gonna use it. I have shotguns. I'll put in 8 of my 9.
Wow.
3 plus 8.
Yeah, I'm going to, because I know how much simple spells are costing. I'm throwing 12 in.
Whoo.
We
I want
need
to be
this
clear,
to work.
I'm not being stingy.
Yeah,
I just don't have that much.
yeah, no, legit. Like, we need this shit to work, goddammit.
Harold?
I wanted to ask you, what do you think an appropriate role would be here for Harold to determine sort of, because I feel like he's going to start to feel something draining away and he's actually going to fight against it instinctively.
Occult.
Okay.
With a bonus die because you've had the other experience.
Fail.
The only difference you know between this and the other is that you feel like you've got control over them.
Okay.
Whereas the other was definitively not in your.
All right. Harold will, I mean, as a player, I'd want to put more. I think Harold will put 4 in the occult collection plate as it's passed around.
27 total mana.
I'm really excited by the possibility. John next says, you needed 6.
Yeah. That seems like the sort of thing we should have had a conversation about beforehand.
So, you all feel this energy draining from you, some of you more than others, before you shut the valve. And as you do, the chalk beneath you lights in a brilliant blue glow. Some of you faster than others. Jahan's fills instantly as he dumps mana into this. America's fills much more rapidly than that. Harold's fills more rapidly than that, and Doris's fills even more rapidly. Collins's does not fill at all. As you sort of watch the light fill. Your light then rapidly filters into the bowl, at which point it turns red and leaps up the sigils chalked into the floor towards Collins, who sort of grits his teeth, and you hear sort of a as it does. After a little while, the blood in the middle evaporates, as does the rice and the bowl, leaving a much longer knife than was there previous. This looks to be sort of a long bladed, long handled Bowie knife, made out of bone and of a very different variety than what was previously put into the bowl. This jagged in places, smooth in others, weapon looks barbaric and reminds you at first of the jawbone of an ass from biblical references. It looks kind of like that, although not quite the same. And as the light fades and the color fades from the seals beneath your feet, the dagger clatters to the ground. And Collins sort of leans over heavily like he's about to be sick. Oh, this ritual sucks.
What just happened?
Just a little bit of a little bit of Catholic magic, a little bit of black magic, a little bit of Egyptian magic, all manner of stuff sort of woven together to make a weapon that is capable of slicing through dimensional anchors. And it makes me want to puke every time.
So once it's all done, this year's going to let you play Samson then?
Something like that.
Right.
Right. Well,
Oh, really, whoever. It doesn't necessarily matter who holds it, so long as it gets stabbed through the anchor.
and we're going to... what exactly is this anchor then?
Oh, we've still got to figure that out. There's a few ideas that some of you have floated. Someone said that there was a painting of the king in yellow in the house, but it might be something else. There's going to be something of significance in the house that you all stumbled into originally that ties the show to you. Something that the group of you found and interacted with.
Can I take a peek in my vest pocket?
Sure.
Is it necessarily an object?
It's got to be something like some sort of physical presence in the world that serves as the.
It's going to be hilarious when it turns out to be the stone.
butler.
Stonehenge brick.
So
The Stonehenge brick.
no,
Yep.
no.
Yep.
I'm good. My mind went to the butler. Listen.
It can be any number of things, but it's going to be something physical that you've interacted with.
Right.
Clock.
What's
What?
going on in the with the stone that I checked?
Something that was taken from the house, you said?
Not necessarily taken, just interacted with.
Well, we already discussed that painting, but we said that might be the other thing.
What about those animation tools? I mean, they
it could
create a little yellow man.
it could literally be anything.
Everyone touched the clock because.
And
What are the odds it's that book we already burned that Jahan was keeping away from the cult?
if that was it, then it wouldn't have burned.
Okay, never mind.
That's the other
Bad
thing.
idea.
Whatever it is won't be destructible by any other means.
Right.
There.
There's also that. Sorry, Harold. Stone in your pocket, which I'm trying to remember what.
I don't know, John. You haven't told me.
Yeah,
Sometimes it glows, and it looks
It's
rough,
not-
but it feels smooth.
It
so
is not currently glowing.
okay.
Sorry, no, I remember what I was trying to. I've given all of you something, and I'm trying to remember which one of the somethings it was.
Yeah, okay. It would be helpful if you maybe messaged me to clarify that because I have no notes.
Oh, no,
indicating-
yours is not an object.
Okay.
There. Anyway.
I'll message you a reminder of what it was.
Yeah.
So we go and wander around this house again. There was the butler. He's going to object. There's not
I don't
another.
I don't doubt it will. But if he's just a normal butler, those can be handled.
Right.
And if he's not, well, then we might get a clue.
Exactly.
it's not going to be easy. These things are not like in your fairy tale where the magic MacGuffin is, shining miraculously and obviously the thing. It takes some looking and some testing and some experimentation. Anchors can be anything for a reason. They don't want them destroyed.
Right.
But the
Seems-
reason it's fixated on all of you is because it's something you have all, not necessarily personally, but as a collective, have come in contact with.
Right.
It could be something only one of you touched, but the rest of you touched the others. Doesn't matter.
Oh, we all separate. We split up.
When was
All
we?
right.
Could it be a person?
It literally be any.
Bollocks.
The only key that an anchor exists is that it won't be destroyed by normal means. So if that book had been an anchor, it wouldn't have burned. That kind of thing. If that painting's an anchor, you can't cut it with a normal knife. If a person's an anchor, you can't kill him with a normal means.
Right. Why don't we just try and burn the house down?
Because as much as fun and efficient that would be, we do still live in a world with rules, and I'd rather not be on the run from the fire department. Because I am a cop, and that's sort of, hard to... You sort of get the raw deal if you are a cop and you do commit arson.
Right. Forgot about that bit. Forget I said that.
Not bad. Your head's in the right place. It's just you have to realize we're operating within a society. And
Yes, well, standing around a ritual circle with a bowl that just disappeared with blood in it, you get... I'm coping.
it'll be all right. He walks over and picks up the dagger and puts it in.
So when are we going to do this? What time is it right now anyway?
It's mid-afternoon at the moment.
Right.
Well,
Takes a couple hours to drive out there.
yes, Harold.
A point of order. Things that were taken out of the house. Maybe we ought to check those first. We did find out that our former friend, Mr. Coldwell, did take a liking to a new shade of jacket not long after we returned. What were the items that we turned over to him? I don't know.
I didn't buy anything. I told him that there was. Oh,
I think, if I recall, he bought a set of wine bottles with something inside one of them, wasn't it?
yeah. I didn't see that bottle afterwards, but I did find this collection of wine. One of them was not like the others, and in terms they wouldn't be grouped together, and also contained a tentacle monster or a tentacle and murky
Right.
wine water.
There was also a book that Jahan brought, I think.
I did.
I brought a book. He also had other things that he had brought to our next meeting, that he had purchased separately from us.
So,
Because I think he independently bought the bought the wine bottles because none of us could afford them.
He bought the wine bottles. There's a few other things he bought or could have bought that I just marked down as interesting because I'm not rich like you guys.
So do we want to go after Caldwell first? If we can find what there, then head to the manor, or would you rather head to the manor first and then find this?
I feel like the manor's better odds, to be honest, because
You all are the ones who know Coldwell better, so
I'll leave it up to you. This whole thing is hunting for you anyway. Well, 5 of you. Friend hasn't come back yet. Oh, for all I know.
I mean, how are we to know it's not our missing friend that's done it?
Typically because Chamber's not going to take its own anchor. That's the thing that lets it come.
Right, but I mean, if he hadn't been taken, oh, do we know for sure he was taken?
Well, we know he was taken the first time, definitely. And it sounded like he was taken the second time, certainly.
That's a fair point then.
I'm the only one, if I recall, that's never been grabbed.
Han.
believe I have.
Yeah, John's also never.
Well, and you either of you been hurt in these investigations?
It, yeah, I'm hurt right now. Not badly, but yeah.
I'm taking a little.
And I
little bit of
got pretty
beans.
banged up when we were fighting the lizard people.
Yes, I believe I got nicked. I believe I haven't been in serious condition, but and then there's been a little bit of the self thing for the ritual for the spells, but
Does Harold still have the Beativo on him?
No, you put it on the bookshelf.
Okay. Well, that's what,
You know what? America is not particularly sane, and everything is talking to me. So it'll make you feel better. Not necessarily enough to like cause damage, but America will sort of slide a pocket blade across a finger.
Right.
I'm
Oh.
assuming I bleed like a normal person.
You do bleed like a normal person.
There you go. Confirmed. We already saw Jahan do basically that, so.
well, and I suppose the things we've turned over, we'll have to leave those for last. So it might be some sort of thing that we all. What was it that all of us encountered at the mansion?
Again, it's not
What?
necessarily something you all encountered. It's something that
Wait.
one of you encountered, at the least.
Although I do seem to
That's
recall
fair.
all of us encountered a pretty fearsome enemy that gave all of us quite a bit of trouble while we were there. The stairs.
It might be the stairs.
If you recall, the stairs broke underneath your weight. You're pretty certain that counts as able to be destroyed by normal means.
Fair.
it's a valid point.
Depends on your definition of breakable, but sure. We all encountered the stairs, we all encountered the guard. But if we didn't need to encounter it, tons of stuff. There was
Yes.
the painting, there was whatever box was behind that bookcase.
I think
And the clock. There was the butler. There was
we went
whatever
on.
you guys saw before you fell down the slide. There was running.
There were 4
rest of
floors,
my
correct?
Right.
I think we
Oh,
went.
there was that little stone engine that was up there.
There was
Yes.
plenty of symbols around. If it could be a symbol, it sounds like it wouldn't be the symbol we were finding, which was that protective one that's over your door.
Right, it wouldn't be that. Or anything behind a passageway with that marked on it. So,
So it wouldn't be the locked box, because the locked box was behind that symbol, down a passage too narrow for any of us to go down.
very likely, yes. If the box is either behind a passage or if it has it on it, probably not that. You can rule out anything that has that symbol attached to it.
Right.
Right then.
But again,
It's going to be.
we're gonna take it. We'll take a break. You'll relax, rejuvenate yourselves. This ritual takes a lot out of you, and you're gonna need the resources. Your resources, you. So take another night, rest, relax, recuperate, drink if you need it, and in tomorrow, say it's around dusk, head out that way.
Very well.
I'm not sure about the rest of you, but I could certainly go for a meal and a half right now.
Well,
Seems like it's been a week since we've eaten.
let's see what we can do. And at that point, the tour will end for the week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.